Well, first, let me just say, of course, thank you to everyone for coming out tonight. And I've got some notes here. Certainly want to thank Brother Greg for that wonderful prayer. You have no idea what it means to have your support in this community. This man is one of the most well-respected leaders in our city, and I think the world of him, and it's a privilege to have him here. Decor, to have you here. We've been through some battles together, and we're able to accomplish some things on the Commercial Development Authority. I appreciate your commitment to our city continually, even though you're not living here now, but you're still vested and interested in what's happening here. There are people that are here tonight, and you may not live in Sylacauga. You may not even be able to vote, but you're still vested in this community. And that's what we've got to take notice of. We've got to have people that are working, that are vested here, like Jill. And I love you too. I mean, I'm not going to stay there long. I'll start crying with what this woman means to me. But I wouldn't be here tonight at all if it weren't for there she is, my wife, Laura Taunton. All of you, if you don't know her, she's probably next to my granddaughter, she's the shortest one here. But I wouldn't be here if it weren't for her. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the love and the support of my family. And that has a lot to do with why I'm here tonight. I'm going to try to stick to my notes. I don't want to get too far off of them because I am a Baptist minister and we can be here for a couple of hours if we want to. But I'm running for mayor because I believe in our community. I believe in what it can be. I believe in our people. I believe in its potential. I believe in what it promises. We've used to call ourselves Sylacauga the Beautiful, and we are a beautiful community. And in many ways, it seems we've lost that ideology. But it's not too late to bring it back. It's not too late to repair much of the damage that's been done. A lot of that damage has happened simply because of a lack of foresight, a lack of vision, a lack of planning. And those of you that know me and know me well, I'm a forward thinker. I'm the guy that thinks in abstract forms and then puts all the pieces of the puzzle together and seeks the right people to put in positions to be able to make those things happen and to pull them off. Some of you, Donna, you work with us on the Christmas Club. Everybody, you think, well, that's a trivial thing. That doesn't mean a lot. I went to the city council and I said, look, we found this tree. It's $18,000 some odd dollars that we would like to buy, and they laughed. But then we put some good folks together that saw it and had a dream, had a vision, and then it wasn't, 3 months? We raised roughly $21,000. And you look at what it does to our community, it's easy to say, well, that's meaningless, that's trivial, but what people miss when they see that is they miss the amount of funding that comes into our city through taxes and tax revenue when people get out and they come and look and see that kind of thing. That's just what it means to be a community, to put the right talented people together that will see things through and make them happen. But there's 5 ways that I have in mind and moving forward in the future that we'll call them 5 pillars in my campaign strategy and what I'd like to accomplish. The first, of course, is restoring that unity and transparency at City Hall. We've got to return to a mindset that as we are elected officials, that we actually work for our citizens. We work for the community, for the people that are here, not for ourselves, not for our own motives. We're servants. We lead in the fashion. In my mindset, I lead in the fashion of Jesus Christ. I came not to be served, but to serve. And that's what I intend to do. And we've got to be that place, a community of service and accountability and transparency. We've had enough, I don't know about you, but I've had enough of the division. I've had enough of secrecy. I've had enough of the power games behind the scenes. It's time to start moving forward and make some things happen in our community. Second, we need a clear and strategic plan for growth. And through my eyes, what I believe we need there is we've got to focus on our economic development. As Jill mentioned, or Corey mentioned a little bit, and coming on to the Commercial Development Authority, when I first arrived, it was a completely defunct organization. And I hate saying it because I feel like I'm pinning flowers on myself, but I guess that's what a campaign's about in part. But when I came on to the Commercial Development Authority, they weren't even having enough people showing up to the meetings to have a quorum to make a decision to do anything. They had lost all funding from the city. And we were able to come on and put a team together, a team of concerned people that were committed. And then we began to work together. And then before you know it, we had lost our EIN. We couldn't even legitimately hold a checking account. We put all that back together, started over from scratch, got some of our funding restored from the city, and then since that time, we've added a little over $12 million worth of construction, and we've added over $800,000 annually to our net revenue through sales tax. And by the end of this year, it'll be over $1 million. Right now, I can tell you, just in the pipeline, we have, and developers that I'm talking with right now, we're pushing close to $100 million in development potential. Now, right now, it's a pipe dream. It doesn't mean anything. But those are the conversations that we're having. And we're able to have those conversations because we were able to put a quality team of people together. And we've got to continue that kind of momentum and continue to develop, reach beyond what we're presently doing and develop incentive packages that are going to attract those businesses. For instance, if you get on social media, what is everybody shouting for? They want family entertainment, family entertainment, family entertainment. Well, of course, the economy's driven by itself. If people are supporting something, then it's going to come. But what we can do is offer certain incentive packages for that group of commercial entities to help possibly attract them in here, and let's give it a try. Let's see if it'll work. But that's one thing that we can do. We also need to make sure that we give proper attention. I think our IDB's doing a fair job, but we need to give them whatever tools they need to do a better job to attract new industry into our city and bring in the good paying jobs that we need. We need to explore smart tech-driven opportunities. Some of you may not know, and the Utilities Board may get upset with me for saying this, but Sylacauga is an interstate fiber optic hub. We have huge broadband capabilities in our city, and we're making no use of it. Do you know why Chattanooga has grown in the way that it has so much over the years? Because of their broadband width capability. And guess what? We have more ability than they do. We're just not making use of it. Had a conversation with a group today that's interested in coming to Sylacauga simply because I was dumb enough to tweet Elon Musk, and they saw my tweet. All I said was, check out Sylacauga, Alabama's bandwidth. And I've been sending him that message for a couple of years. Somebody called one of the developers I have a relationship with, and now we're talking to them about the possibilities of bringing a data center to Sylacauga. It would be 80 to 100 jobs. Again, it's a pipe dream. It doesn't mean anything. I'm just telling you, this is the way I think. This is the direction that I believe that we need to go as a city. As we're doing all of that, you think about that. If this company were, if that was to work out, we're talking 80 to 100 jobs. Where are those people going to live? So we've got to have residential growth. We've got to develop a plan to increase our housing and encourage and stimulate residential development in our community. Not only that, But we've got to devise a plan in order that we can reward those who are here, who live here, who work here, and who invest in our city on a daily basis. We've got so many people that work here but live elsewhere. We've got to give them some kind of incentive, entice them in some way. Maybe that's we need more amenities, whatever it might be. But we've got to convince them, work to convince them to move to Sylacauga. And then we've also got to have and develop a workforce development strategy. If we're going to have a strong economy, then we've got to have a strong workforce. So we'll work to develop programs to prepare our citizens, especially our young people, for the jobs for tomorrow that we're looking for tomorrow. And you think about that, that's not a small detail. That's a big deal, because partly why are we where we are right now? Because when I was a kid, everybody worked at Kimberly-Clark or at Avondale, and that was it. No one was looking past then. No one was looking at the fact, yes, textiles are moving to Mexico. They're moving outside of the United States. And then Avondale closes, then the mill shuts down. A place that many of our parents retired from, and it's gone, poof. Since that time, what do we see? We see our population ticking down and down and down and down, because there's no place, there are no jobs. There are no, we're bringing in commercial jobs. Commercial doesn't support a family. A retail job is not going to give you what you need to support a family. We need real high-paying jobs. We also, so in that process, we've got to look forward to the future and plan for the jobs of tomorrow. We've got to utilize also the knowledge and experience that our veterans and our senior population can bring to the table. And in that, work hand in hand with our educators. I think what we're seeing happening up here, the Earth Project, is going to be one of the most valuable assets this community has ever seen. And it's been largely overlooked by our city. And we should be as actively a part of that program as we can, because its primary focus is workforce development. And when we're talking about workforce development, it's got to go beyond just being hands-on on how to do a job, how to meet certain specifications in the workforce. We've got to work to reestablish a solid work ethic among our young people. Establish a personal pride in doing a job well done. Teach the value, go back and reteach in our schools the value of holding a job, having a career, and growing through that, growing as a person. Develop those mindsets over being government dependent. Why do I raise that? Why do I bring that up? I'll tell you why. You may not realize it, but let me give you some stats real quick. Talladega County as a whole, South Talladega County, we're somewhere around 19% of our population is on some form of disability. You've got another 29% that are on some form of government subsidy. And many of them aren't working. They've removed themselves from the workforce. And we need them hands-on in the workforce, actively being a part of our community and contributing to it. We need to help and work to develop that sense of personal pride, of standing on one's own 2 feet. And the last opportunity in economic growth is we need to focus on geographic expansion of our boundaries, especially in our industrially. Do you realize we have not added 1 square inch in any meaningful way? I'm not talking about a lot here and there for special purposes, but we've not added 1 square inch to our industrial footprint in this city in over 20 years. Now, what does that mean? What if we had a car manufacturing company that wanted to come to Sylacauga? We've got no place in the city limits to put them. We've got to develop that. We've got to expand our boundaries, expand our industrial footprint so that we can accommodate them and provide them with the infrastructure that they need when they're interested in Sylacauga. We've got to be able to provide them what they need. And we need them to locate in the city. A large portion of our industrial complex where companies are setting up out there right now are not even in the city limits. We make nothing off of them. Nothing. Lastly, I want to bring your attention to this. Keep this in mind. Anybody know what our population was at the last census? I believe it was either 12,107 or 12,170 people. We're dropping. If we don't start, one way we can fix that is by growing geographically, seeking and annexing more properties so we get those families inside of the city limits so that in that we can grow our population in addition to attracting people to our community. Because you know what happens if we drop under 12,000? We become reclassified as a town. And then everything in our city government is going to be restructured. That's backing up. We don't want to do that. We've got to keep moving forward. Consider this. What's one great way to do that? Some people might not like the idea, but we've got the Mill Village sitting over there. It's a complete liability. We take care of all the infrastructure over there. And it's not in the city limits. Everybody talks about clean it up. Let's annex it and clean it up. Let's turn it into, the footprint is there. It wouldn't take a lot to completely transform that area of the community. I think we need to annex that. Third, we need to focus on improving and strengthening our city services. We've got to support our police and our fire departments with competitive salaries and the benefits that they need, and provide them with the equipment that they need, the training that they need, because I believe our citizens deserve the very best that we can possibly give them. And in that takes us to our crime rates. Has anybody done a neighborhood search on our city? Well, don't. I'll say this: we're better than 7% of the other cities in the United States. 7%. That means 93% of other cities in the United States have a better crime rate than we do. We're a population of 12,107 people. And a lot of people, when I tell them that stat, they go, I don't believe that. Well, you can look it up. You can go to pull it. There's like 5-6 different websites that'll kick up the information for you. But see, people say, well, I don't see it. No, because it's not in your neighborhood, and so you don't care. We've got to invest our monies in the right locations so that we can care for not just a few of our citizens, but all of our citizens. We've got areas of our community that need to be cleaned up, and I will demand that our police department get involved and clean it up. Not only that, but we're going to work to develop a real relationship between our police department and our citizens so that there is trust there. And when a crime goes down, thank you. And when a crime goes down, that someone will actually say, they did it. They did it. That's who did it. Decorah, I wasn't pointing at you. I was pointing at But that's part of our issue. People don't trust our police department. We've got to fix that. We've got to do something about that. Additionally, we need to ensure that our students and teachers have the resources that they need to succeed so that our test scores continue to go up. And I'm just going to say this, but I think it's absolutely disgusting that a teacher has to come out of her own pocket to teach her class. And we can do something about that. We can fix that. We've got to continue to give support to the departments that are working and doing all that they can. For instance, our street department, our animal shelter needs much of our attention, and they have been ignored for years and years and years. And we can do better. Part of that in helping them is going to be in streamlining the process of them receiving the funds that they need. We've got to do better than having this system of, okay, you've got your annual allotment, so you can fill out this piece of paper and get your purchase order, and we'll take that purchase order, and then we'll go to City Council and get their approval so you can spend this $25.87. That's what's happening. And then we'll wait for that purchase order to go from the City Council back to the City Clerk's office so you can get your check. Well, by then the need's gone. Especially for the animal shelter. Especially when there's a few $1,000s that I think maybe $10,000 to $17,000, it's somewhere in there, that's been donated by we the people that they can't access without going through City Council. We can do better. We can streamline the process so that our departments can get what they need when they need it. There is no reason for anyone, once their allocation, if a department head is doing his job or her job, once their allocation has been allocated and they are within their budget, you've already approved the budget. Why in the world do we go back before City Council to obtain those funds? It makes no sense. The mayor ought to be able to streamline that process. But you can't do that in our town because you've got a council that wants to control what the mayor's doing. 4, we need a leadership that's willing and ready to serve and not settle scores. This election that we have right here, I believe, is one of the most critical we've had in many, many years. And we don't need leaders, any more leaders, with hidden agendas or with personal vendettas with an axe to grind. We need people that are emotionally mature, that are well informed, and that are committed to serving our community. And as I close, let us declare together, the status quo must go. It's time for a change. Thank you. I am here. I am here and I am ready to stand in the gap, but I need each one of you. I'll stand in the front. I'll take the blows. I'll fight the battles. I'll put the work that's necessary to be put in to accomplish what needs to be accomplished so that you don't have to. But I need something from you. First and foremost, I covet your prayers. I need your support. And we need to hear your voice on Election Day on August the 26th. Get to the polls. And until then, post on social media, knock on doors, make phone calls, do whatever needs to be done, because we need to make a statement with this election, and we need to win in an overwhelming fashion. Let's not go to a runoff. Everybody thinks with this many candidates we're going to go to a runoff. If we cannot go to a runoff, we will make a statement. We are ready for change. So let's work hard and let's make that statement. And I need your help because I want you to remember something. It's already been demonstrated. I'm not only running against my opponents in this election, but I'm running against a power structure that wants to maintain and keep control. And together we can defeat it. But I need you. Thank y'all for your time. Thank you for coming this evening. Thank you.